Welcome everyone, and thank you for tuning in to hear my trading and market updates. This is Uncle Frank, and I'm not a financial advisor, nor is any of the content to be construed as financial advice. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. Please remember to hit the like button if you enjoyed the presentation, and be sure to subscribe to the channel so you're alerted when I have new information to share. So now let's get into the latest updates. Hey, welcome back everyone. In this episode, I hope to cover everything you need to be ready for the coming weeks in the market regarding AMC, XRP, Mullen, and of course, Swan Watch. Let's start with this headline from Market Watch. Short sellers are more bearish than they've been in a long time. My subscribers know that I'm also watching and rooting for white swans, which in this example would be a surprise, face-melting rally prompted by sudden good news, such as a resolution to the debt ceiling crisis or a super cool reading on inflation. Anything that catches short sellers by surprise, in my opinion, is just what the doctor ordered. Now, I would warn you gold bugs, be careful what you wish for. Our enemies are experts in identifying sectors and companies in trouble and will profit greatly when they collapse suddenly. And here's an example of exactly that. Headline from Fortune: hedge fund made $30 million in days thanks to a well-timed bet on Credit Suisse's problems. Now, guys, no one was more delighted to see what happened to Credit Suisse than me after what they did to AMC. I just want you to be aware that rooting for black swans is not always beneficial to our cause. And now, a brief public service announcement from the Uncle Frank Finance YouTube channel. An increasing number of headlines indicate people are discovering they are being watched or spied on and had no idea until it was too late. Now, some apps are able to essentially detect signals from spy devices, giving you a better chance to protect your privacy. Headline: surveillance detecting apps to check out. From the article, the app called Hidden Camera Detector claims it locates potential targets that could be a spy camera, and these include pinhole and other small lens cameras. The app uses your iPhone camera and flash to scan a specific area to identify potential spy cameras. It even allows you to save images with GPS information. The app called Don't Spy uses your smartphone's magnetometer, which is built in for its compass function. When used with the app, the magnetometer supposedly picks up the electromagnetic field put out by devices like microphones, many types of cameras, and other types of so-called bugs. And Android users have the app Detectify. It's another app that uses your smartphone's built-in magnetometer to find potential spy bugs. The interface is simple and easy to use. You just scan an area with your smartphone. Detectify also says it can detect infrared spy cams. The app is free for Android. Now, guys, why don't you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you keep getting this useful information. I'll put those links in the video description for you. Now, if it's true that the short sellers are really bearish, we need to take a look at where we're at for the year so far. The Dow is only up 0.84%, less than 1% year to date. The tech-heavy NASDAQ is up 20.94%. The S&P 500, 9.18% so far this year. But what about crypto? Bitcoin is up 61.92% year to date. Ethereum, 51.01. Uncle Frank's favorite, XRP, is up 37.54% year to date, and in fact, over the past 7 days, up 9.09% at the time of this recording. But it's important to keep an eye on riskier assets, and it's also interesting to note that more wallets are holding Bitcoin than ever before, and that's according to data from Glassnode. More than 1 million individual wallets are holding at least one Bitcoin. They're $27,000 a piece. That's a new milestone, and it's a 20% increase from February of last year. By now, all of you are aware of the big swans that are looming over the markets right now: the debt ceiling, the bank crisis, inflation, commercial real estate, and geopolitical matters like Ukraine and China-Taiwan. But those are the headlines. You have to dig deeper to see exactly what they plan to do about these issues. From Wall Street breakfast this weekend, renewed concerns over regional banks have been pushing regulators into uncomfortable areas, like facilitating and allowing the largest U.S. banks to get even bigger. All that means is the Treasury is pressuring the big banks to be ready to absorb the smaller banks if they fall into trouble. Other things that have been invoked are systemic risk exceptions, which allowed the FDIC to guarantee banks uninsured deposits, and there are now even proposals for blanket deposit guarantees. All that means they want you to keep your money in the bank. The fear is that the situation could spiral if left unchecked, and traditional policies may be overlooked to stamp out a crisis. Another hot topic of discussion has been centering around the short selling of bank stocks. A short selling ban in 2008 only lasted 3 weeks, and many have argued that the restrictions were not only unnecessary, but actually harm market quality and stability. Now, this is what you need to know going forward. Investors will be watching the U.S. debt ceiling showdown again as the threat of a government default of some sort becomes more real. Unless an extension or agreement is hammered out in Washington, analysts warn potential negative scenarios include Congress raising the debt ceiling just past the point the U.S. Treasury can make timely payments on its obligations, or near-term debt service prioritization over other domestic payments, or a short default on coupons, and a prolonged and damaging delay in debt service. UBS warned that the initial shock of moving past the X date for making payments on time would have non-linear effects that grow, particularly in the payment prioritization scenario with falling government expenditures. Against that uncertain backdrop, several Fed Reserve Board members are on the speech circuit next week, and the minutes of the last FOMC meeting will be released. And that's exactly what we're going to get this week. Fed members out there running their mouths, pushing their policies. On Monday alone, 4 Fed presidents will be speaking. On Tuesday, the Dallas Fed president will speak. But also at 9:45, we're going to get S&P Flash U.S. services and manufacturing PMI. And then at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, new home sales. Then another Fed governor will speak on Wednesday. And then at 2 p.m. on Wednesday, minutes of the Fed's May FOMC meeting will be released. On Thursday, we're going to get a second reading on GDP, initial jobless claims, 8:30 in the morning. The Richmond Fed president will be speaking on Thursday. And then at 10 a.m. Eastern, pending home sales. Now, Friday could be a barn burner for inflation. We're getting durable goods, personal income and spending, PCE, and core PCE indexes. And we're also going to get advanced retail inventories, wholesale inventories, and then at 10 a.m., the final on consumer sentiment. All could drive inflation numbers. The commercial real estate sector has been really quiet, and that has me concerned. Higher rates, defaults, vacancies could cause shocks to the $5.6 trillion U.S. commercial real estate industry, hurting lenders that are already dealing with a crisis of their own. Recent headlines: Morgan Stanley analysts think commercial real estate is heading for something worse than in the great financial crisis. From Financial Times, U.S. lenders warned that commercial property is next shoe to drop. From the Wall Street Journal, Commercial real estate woes run deeper than in past downturns. And then from MoneyWise, it's going to be ugly. This commercial real estate CEO issues a dire warning about U.S. real estate, saying areas will be, quote, destroyed. The commercial real estate market is tumbling toward a crash that could be as devastating as the 2008-2009 crisis, according to the CEO of a real estate investment firm. Patrick Carroll, founder and CEO of Carroll, sounded the alarm about the state of the U.S. commercial real estate market in a recent interview with CNBC. Quote, "The party's over, unfortunately." He said the office markets are going to be destroyed. Hotels are going to be destroyed. It's going to be ugly. We will see. Now, did you know that some of the world's most powerful elites met over this past weekend to determine many aspects of your future? Headline: the annual cabal of globalists at the super secret Bilderberg Meeting this year will focus on New World Order implementation through AI. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman will join forces with key leadership from companies like Microsoft and Google this weekend as a secretive meeting of the Bilderberg Group of global elites kickstarts in Lisbon, Portugal. All in, around 130 participants from 23 countries are set to attend the private meeting, a similar number to previous years. Pfizer CEO Albert Bourla, BP Chief Bernard Looney, Total Energy's CEO Patrick Pouyanné, investor Peter Thiel, and a number of EU politicians will also be there. The three-day event, which runs this year from May 18th to the 21st, is shrouded in mystery, with clandestine talks held behind closed doors and subject to Chatham House rules, meaning the identity and affiliation of speakers must not be disclosed. This has sparked conspiracy theories similar to those levied against high-level meetings like the World Economic Forum in Davos. Hey, your boy Adam Aaron's a member of that one. By those who claim attendees are seeking to establish a new world order. However, the event's organizers say that the discreet nature of the event is to allow for greater freedom of discussion. So what's on the agenda for 2023? Key topics up for discussion at this year's meeting were published by its organizers Thursday, giving an insight into what it deems the most pressing issues in global affairs: artificial intelligence, the banking system, China, energy transition, Europe, fiscal challenges, India, industrial policy and trade, NATO, Russia, transnational threats, Ukraine, and U.S. leadership. And what's going on at the box office and AMC? Headline: Fast X leaves Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 in the dust at domestic box office. The film is gearing up for a $67 million opening weekend. Fast X, the 10th installment in the long-running action franchise, is eyeing a top-place finish in its debut weekend at the domestic box office. Directed by Louis Leterrier, Fast X grossed $28 million on its first day of release, including $7.5 million from Thursday previews. This puts it on track to gross around $67 million in its opening weekend, which will be slightly under F9, the Fast Saga's debut a couple of years ago. Now, I didn't get to see the film this weekend. I am going soon. However, I did get to stop at the theater to pick up my latest addition to my popcorn tin collection, which is a Fast X Dodge Charger featured in the film. I'm starting a new feature on my channel called Banker Dirty Tricks, and I think you're going to enjoy it. I'm simply sharing things I've picked up working for and with investment, retail, and wholesale bankers, brokers, and traders over the years. For example, did you know the Uncle Frank Finance channel owns the domain names AMC Theaters, InvestorConnect.wallet, and AMC InvestorConnect.wallet? Well, Uncle Frank, what if I want to browse, research, and possibly purchase some domain names for myself? Well, first I would subscribe to this channel so you're alerted to this information. Then you can Google all the different sites that sell domain names to do your research. But I will be posting an affiliate link shortly so you can check it out for yourself at Unstoppable Domains. One thing I'm currently researching is adding some raw land to my portfolio. I recently got an interesting email from Eric Peterson at landopia.com that sparked my interest and I wanted to share with my subscribers. Hey, it's Eric Peterson from landopia.com with another great investment of the week for you. Invest in your own piece of paradise now for $1 plus a $149 doc fee. The listing description goes on to say it's a half acre with unlimited potential. And if the hustle and bustle of modern life has lost its appeal and you crave wide open spaces and the breathtaking beauty of the Southwest, then an incredible investment opportunity awaits you. Just outside Deming, New Mexico in Luna County, 1/2 acre of vacant land is ready for someone to carve out their personal haven in this timeless landscape. The area offers unbeatable access to history, exploration, and adventure. Just a stone's throw from Deming, New Mexico, and the famed Arroyo Seco Raceway, the property lies conveniently nestled between railroad tracks to the north and the I-10 highway, Highway 70 to the south. With affordable monthly payments starting at $75, it's never been easier to lay claim to your very own piece in the land of enchantment. Now, since I don't know dick about raw land, I'm going to be talking to raw land lenders and appraisers to get their opinion on the matter. I'll keep you posted. Well, guys, with regards to my speculative investment portfolio, my life is on hold. AMC is waiting for the resolution of its settlement case. I'm waiting for my postcard along with 3.8 million other shareholders, and I'm hoping that the court will order an independent analysis of not only the number of shareholders, but the actual number of shares that exist. When it comes to Mullen Automotive, I'm suffering along with everyone else as the stock is pounded towards $1 after its reverse split, something the yes voters over at AMC would prefer to ignore. And on XRP, I'm still waiting for the resolution of what I would call the flimsiest case in SEC history. To me, it's very clear that XRP isn't bought or sold like a security, but instead one converts fiat or other cryptocurrency in and out of it, no different than you would the US dollar, the yen, or Bitcoin. But what do I know? I'm at the mercy of Gary Gensler until he's finally defeated in the courtroom. AMC closed on Friday at 503, down 0.79%. The ape finished the day at $1.61, down 1.23%, bringing the consolidated price of AMC and ape to $664, down 0.9% on 14.9 million shares traded. Now, based on that last price of 503 on AMC, expect support to the downside at levels 496, 490, and 483. Expect resistance to the upside at points 509, 516, and 522 on Monday morning. I wanted to do a slide as a follow-up on one of Frank Nez's posts in mid-May. Antara discloses new massive short position against AMC. Now, for those of you that have forgotten, we sold Antara a ton of stock, actually ape. We sold them ape in the mid 60-cent range, only a fraction of what it was worth in my opinion, right? And then this article came out and Frank comments that Antara Capital has disclosed a new massive short position against AMC Entertainment. Now, ape was meant to be the pounce. I mean, that's how it was sold to all of us. The article continues, the institution has disclosed a whopping 55 million shares in put options, valued at more than 277 million. And it goes on, this is one of the largest short positions ever seen placed against the movie theater chain. Now, to add context, Frank added, Antara Capital has only 1 million shares in call options for AMC. This means its short position against the company is a 5,500% difference. Now, guys, Antara Capital has disclosed shorting 11,300 shares of AMC common. The transaction was initiated in order to deliver shares to a third-party holder who executed calls. Now, so we should conclude that our insider, Antara Capital, believes in the ARB play. In other words, we're going to convert APE to common and massively dilute, followed by a potential reverse split, which would mean AMC should decline and APE should rally. But what is Antara doing with APE in its recent filings? Now here's Form 4, dated 5/15. Now Frank Nez, this is a day before Frank Nez's article. He would have never seen this information. It wasn't disclosed yet. But this is what actually happened a day before Frank's article on May 15th. Antara sold 100,000 shares of APE, 613,000 shares of APE, 22,800 shares of APE, 500,000 shares in APE. All totaled, it looks like 1,235,947 shares of APE sold on just May 15th. Let's continue. On the following 2 days, May 16th and 17th, Antara continues to sell its APE preferred equity units, 133,000, 364,000, 4,087,000, 426,000. All together, on May 16th and 17th, Antara has disposed of 5,012,738 units of APE. Now, that comes to, over 3 days, 6,248,685 shares of our preferred APE units. Now, if Antara believed in the ARB play, why would it sell? Okay, APE is supposed to come up and AMC would come down, right? If they actually can convert and do a reverse split. However, keep in mind, Antara got this stock at 65, 66 cents, something like that, and is selling it at $1.60. So this is a huge windfall for Antara Capital. And I just wish Adam Aron would treat us as well as it treats Antara Capital. Now, as I said earlier, Mullen Automotive has had a tough time since its reverse split. On Friday, it closed at $1.07, down 12 cents, which is negative 10.08%. Last week, the company did report that it met its $1 minimum bid price requirement. From the article, Mullen, an emerging electric vehicle manufacturer, has reported that its stock has traded above NASDAQ's $1 minimum bid price requirement for 10 consecutive days, a key guideline to meet NASDAQ trading requirements. Based on that last price of $1.07, you could expect support at $1.01, 96 and 92 cents. To the upside, you could see resistance at $1.11, $1.15, and $1.20. Now, the news that Frank Nez broke is Global EV says Mullen has $10 billion contract with Saudi Arabia, and the founder hinted about this contract, but there hasn't been much detail, and I think that's what a lot of people are waiting to see. Now, moving on to XRP, an interesting article came out over this weekend in Finbold titled, Supreme Court Supports Ripple's Argument in SEC Case, Backs Law Adaptation. Now, from the article, and as many of you know, since December of 2020, Ripple has been embroiled in a legal battle with the SEC, which filed a lawsuit alleging that Ripple conducted an unregistered securities offering worth $1.3 billion through the sale of XRP tokens. Now, at the heart of Ripple's legal argument lies the proposition that an investment contract, as defined by the Howey test, requires a contractual agreement for an investment that grants post-sale rights to the purchaser while imposing corresponding obligations on the seller. By emphasizing the influence of common law on the interpretation of the statute, Ripple aims to establish that XRP does not fall under the SEC's jurisdiction as a security. Additionally, during court proceedings, a significant point of contention has been the unsealing of the Hinman documents, which provide insight into how the regulator initially categorized cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin and Ethereum as securities. Ripple achieved a significant victory when the SEC's request to seal the documents was denied. Accordingly, following the court's previous directive, the documents are set to be unsealed on June 6th. In the latest development, defense attorney James Filan, in a tweet on May 19th, revealed that both parties have filed a joint letter requesting a one-week extension. They are seeking additional time until June 13th to submit public and unredacted versions of their cross motions for summary judgment, along with the accompanying exhibits, including the Hinman materials. So everybody, that new date to watch, June 6th, June 13th. Hey, I want to thank you for watching, and please remember to hit the like button after this slide if you enjoyed the presentation. Subscribe to the channel and set the alert so you're notified when I have new information to share. See you at the bell.